guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about the new movie, Scoob.
So Scoob is the newest big screen adaptation of the Scooby-Doo franchise, and it's bringing Scooby-Doo into the 3D realm. We're getting a more modern take on what we have for the Scooby-Doo character.
I have to say, it was really great seeing all the gang together. I remember watching the old series in the 70s, and like every Scooby movie that came out, I loved Scooby-Doo growing up.
Yeah, and I would say off the bat, first and foremost, full disclosure, we were really big fans of obviously Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, the original run of the show, even What's New Scooby-Doo for a while, a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
So basically our worldview of Scooby-Doo ends in like the mid-2000s. Mm-hmm. So I've watched a lot of the newer stuff, but I have to say, I don't know if this hit on like an emotional or nostalgic level that some of the older shows or films do.
It was really nice seeing Frank Walker as Scooby-Doo, again, doing the voice acting.
Yeah.
It was weird, though, because he used to do Fred and Scooby, and this time he's just doing Scooby, and a lot of those voices we grew up listening to, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, because obviously you're not going to have the original cast from the 1969-70s series, but we've had people that have been playing this character for decades in some cases, and they decided to recast it as some of the celebrities, and I think maybe people that don't watch the show, or people that aren't, like, really into Scooby-Doo at all, maybe some young kids that wouldn't even notice, it wouldn't bother you a lot, but for me, their delivery just, it felt off. I mean, it just didn't feel like Scooby-Doo to me.
The animation in this film was okay, in my opinion. It wasn't like top tier, like Disney level or anything like that. I did like the very amounts of pops of color throughout the film. Like, it was very vibrant. It would appeal a lot to children.
Yeah, I have to say, it definitely leans into being a fun, poppy kids movie. It's far more of a children's movie than some other animated films I've seen in recent years. Not necessarily it's a bad thing. It's its target audience. It's something it's going for. And maybe we're just a little bit of a stuffy old Scooby-Doo fans that remember the old 2D animation, have that near and dear to our heart. But I think new audiences would enjoy it, the new coat of paint on this character.
I did like in the beginning of this movie, they did like the intro of Scooby-Doo with the anthem song, and they recreated the Scooby-Doo Where Are You like intro.
Yeah, the main theme song.
Yeah, and I thought
show.
That was really cool. That was like the most like Scooby-Doo-ish from an old nostalgia feeling like you'd get in this movie.
Yeah, I have to say, when it first started, I actually really enjoyed the first probably 15-20 minutes of the movie when Scooby-Doo and the gang are younger and you see them kind of go on a little adventure there in a haunted house. Like the classic Scooby-Doo story. It felt like they condensed the Scooby-Doo show into like 5 minutes of this show.
Yeah.
But then having it play out completely different for me for like the middle chunk of the movie, it felt more like a generic kids movie than a Scooby-Doo mystery that you would enjoy.
The loss for me in this movie is that they're not really solving a mystery. We're not going on this ghost hunt or anything like that the old series like was. It's more focusing on robots and, you know, bad guys, and I've seen a lot of kids movies with robots.
Yeah, and honestly, watching it, it felt more like they wanted to set up like a Hanna Barbera cinematic universe. There's a lot of characters from the Hanna Barbera universe, and a lot of nods to the characters that aren't even in it. And I did enjoy that though. I like seeing, you know, all the different people that you would imagine would be popping up in this and be like, oh, it would be kind of cool if we had all these movies. But I don't know if they needed to set that all up in the first Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like it got overtaken by that.
I'll have to say, the old Scooby-Doo series, to me, felt a little more grounded. Like, they were going to solve mysteries, and there was a conclusion, and, you know, they always caught the bad guy, where this one felt, like, a little more out there.
Yeah.
Just, like, don't want to give everything away, but there's a lot of out-of-this-world stuff going on.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with expectations for us in particular, someone who watched the old series, that I was expecting kind of just like a reboot, like a new version of the stuff that we loved as kids. And it is more of a modernization. They change it. It isn't that classic, you know, we got to catch this guy and figure out the mystery, what's going on in this house, and unmask the character and stuff. It was more of almost a superhero movie at times. I mean, I feel like I can say that there were superheroes in it.
Yeah.
I know they are some Hanna-Barbera characters, so that's not really the problem. It uses that formula of a superhero movie instead of the formula of a mystery.
And I also like how they stuck to the characters, like how they would look. There are a little bit tweaks here and there that were a little different, but it was weird because it was modernized, but then they had a 70s vibe to it. It was a very weird, like,
it's a weird blend because I feel like I don't want them to fully commit to a modern look because it wouldn't be what I love. But if you're going for that modern audience, I mean, you got to do you can't have the best of both worlds. You're either going to do the 60s, 70s look that people love. You're going to do the more modern look that I think people do enjoy with the new modern Scooby-Doo series that I didn't personally watch. But if you're going for that target audience, maybe just go for it.
It's funny, at the very end of this movie, Scooby and the gang, they get a mystery call and they're like, we have to go to this ghost ship. And I was like, that would have been way more interesting.
It's funny, yeah, because I thought about that when it ended. I was like, man, I really enjoyed that first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they talk about, continuing the adventure. Obviously, they want to set up a world here. They want to set up a story. And I was like, oh, wow, that seems way more interesting. Because I like Scooby-Doo. I like the old ones. I even like the live action films. I like some of the movies. I think it's Escape from Zombie Island, or that's a good one. There's a couple really quality ones.
I think we reviewed that one in our Halloween series.
But I do think that they put a solid attempt into it. Mm-hmm. It's not the best thing in the world. Maybe it is, I'm not the demographic for the film, so that's why it was a little lost. I will say that I think some of the better parts of the movie are the messages. The relationship between Scooby and Shaggy is something that's really heartwarming, and it really hits home in a couple times. Especially there's a scene towards the last part of the film where it really hits home with you. It's really, they kind of undercut it immediately afterwards, but it does make you feel something. You feel for these characters and their friendship, and learning to discover who you are, and why you're important even though you don't think you're important. So it has those good messages for young kids. So I thought that was pretty well executed.
So overall, I'd give this movie a 5 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly disappointed. I was excited. I loved seeing the previews of little Scoob and Shaggy, and I was really excited for this whole new adventure of Scooby and the gang, and it just ended up falling short for me. It didn't have that old feeling of Scooby-Doo, that mystery.
It didn't have the charm. It doesn't have for us, at least.
For us, and maybe somebody else would like it. For me, it was just very average.
Yeah, so if I were to rate this movie, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like the first act and some of the last act I really enjoyed. It was something that I personally really wanted from this movie, but the middle half felt like a pretty generic box standard kids film. It had some fun moments. It's nice seeing the characters back on screen. I really did enjoy seeing the Hanna Barbera nods and the different characters popping up. I did not expect that, so that really did surprise me. But overall, the story structure, just some of the basic elements of the movie just didn't work for me. Alright, so that sums up a review of Scoob. Let us know what you thought about the film in the comments down below. I would love to hear about some people that maybe they really enjoyed it, or people that didn't enjoy it too much. It seems like it's kind of split. I've seen reactions from people, and I think with some older people, it's maybe not as popular. But I know, maybe people enjoy it. So I'd like to hear your opinions down below. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.